Hoovian shirt, Star Wars hat must mean that I rolled out of bed to film this book haul. Yep. Hello internet, around here I go by Cat of Diamonds, and welcome to my FannishReviews. I have an end of summer book haul, basically books that I've gotten from spring to summer, and now it's fall. So I figured I would share with you what the books that I got in those seasons were, because I haven't done that in a while. The only books I've been showing you are Owl Crate videos, which I have another one coming, so I'm gonna start with books from Amazon that I caught anywhere from like end of spring into midsummer. First we have one I waited for a long time. It's Enchanted Forest, the coloring book for adults by Joanna Batsford. This is everywhere on the internet, and I'm very, very excited. It's so beautiful inside. If you want to look inside, I'd go on Instagram and check out #EnchankedForest, because most of those pictures are people coloring what's inside this book, and I don't have a lot of time. I have so many more books. Next, I got Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. This is the cover that I wanted, and it was available on Amazon as a paperback, really cheap. I still haven't seen the movie. I really, really want to. I do have a rule about seeing movies and books close together, so I have no idea when I'm going to read this, because if I see the movie anytime soon, even though it's no longer in theaters, I have to wait about 3 months, or I need to read it soon, because if it's no longer in theaters, then I'll have plenty of time between reading it soon and getting the DVD and seeing it then. So I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I'm very excited. My next one comes from Amazon because it's You Deserve a Drink by Mamrie Hart, and now it can go next to Grace and Hannah's books on my shelf, and I have the Trinity books. I'm very excited. I'm currently trying to get through Hannah's cookbook now. I love that it's like a coffee table book. I can just pick it up when I'm waiting for like something in the microwave, or waiting for a roommate, or if I have a few minutes before I need to leave for the bus in the morning, I can just peruse through it. It doesn't need to be an immediate thing. And so, yeah, that wasn't about this book at all. I've been waiting to get this book at the Tattered Cover in Denver. It's an independent bookstore chain, which is beautiful, and if you're ever in Denver, definitely try to go see a Tattered Cover. And one of my favorite locations is a place that has been converted from a theater into a bookstore, so it's so cool, and it's got all these nooks, and I have been aiming to not pre-order this, but just buy it when it's been in stock so they can keep putting it in stock. But I got This Book Is Gay by James Dawson, and it is definitely more geared toward an audience of youth who are questioning or trying to deal with gender issues as they're growing up. The next stack of books comes from my trip to VidCon in California. I had the book swap. I participated at VidCon, which you saw a little clip in my VidCon Memory Scrapbook video on my personal channel if you're subscribed. And then I do have 2 other videos about my trip to Anaheim for this channel, which would include the book haul books that I would get in this, but I haven't edited those together because it's kind of a bit of crazy personal life sense. So since those videos aren't up yet, I figured I would just spoil you and share the books that I got in California, which would be Clariel by Garth Nix. Clariel, Garth Nix. And this is a prequel to his series that's been out for a very long time, and I haven't read any of those, so this was actually quite enjoyable. I didn't need to really know the other parts of the series before reading it, and I read it for the Booktubeathon, which comes into play later in this video, but no more spoilers. Let's just move on. I got Clariel at the book swap, as well as this proof of Don't Ever Change by M. Beth Bloom, which I saw on someone else's book haul, and I was just like, that sounds like such a good book. Even though I'm not a writer, I still am a storyteller, so I think it'd be so great to read about this book where the author just doesn't know what to write about because she doesn't feel like she's lived enough. And since I'm still trying to find my storytelling voice, I think that will be awesome. My next book swap book I've already read. It is Detroit, a play by Lisa DeMar. I read it on the plane / in the airport on the way home from California, and it was okay. I think I'm going to let this continue on to the next person. I just didn't really get Why was a Pulitzer Prize finalist, and sometimes that's okay. And my last book swap book that I'm really excited about is the paperback of Morgan Madsen's Since You've Been Gone. This was talked about by booktubers so much last year, and since it's a contemporary, it didn't really go high on my oh my gosh I have to buy that list. It was more of a I'll probably get to it from the library. I've got so many other books on my bookshelf, but when this was available during the book swap, I definitely got it. And last but not least, I got to go to the last bookstore in LA, which was like my one requirement to do outside of VidCon. It was like the top of my one bucket list of LA is to go to the bookstore, the last bookstore, and there I purchased a book that I've been wanting for so long, and that is the J.J. Abrams Doug Dorst compilation, book within a book, story within a story. One book, two readers, and the book and the writer and the readers are all in the book, and it's so weird, and I don't know how to describe it since I haven't read it yet. It was just something that Nerd Girl Dottie read on her channel, Nerd Girls for the Win, and I've been wanting to read it ever since she kind of reviewed it on her channel, and so this is years in the making, but I finally own it, and that means someday soon I will read it. And the last set of books I have are coming to you from the wonderful Booktubeathon sale on Book Depository. I bought 5 of the 100 books on the list because I already owned a good chunk of them, and I thought 5 was a good, controllable number. And there were just these 5 titles that were just like, yes, they're on sale. And the first one I'm pulling is Through the Woods Stories by Emily Carroll. It's a graphic novel. I know graphic novels, they're starting to seep into my life, and it's all these stories in the woods. It's just a really easy way to get into creepy graphic novels with some really beautiful pages. And nice and easy to read, so maybe I'll save it for another Booktubeathon or another readathon. Next on the Booktubeathon 100 list, I bought Vicious by V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab is an author that I've known about exclusively because Booktube loves her so much, and I'm very excited to read. This one was highly recommended, and then A Darker Shade of Magic, I believe, is the one that recently came out, so I will be tracking down that one eventually, but I'm very excited to have Vicious. Plus the paperback has a really cool cover, so that's exciting. Now here is a book that I never thought I would read, but so many people keep on saying just read it. And that is Ready Player One. It is by Ernest Cline, and so many people have read it. This book was actually available at the VidCon book swap, and I considered trading it with someone who got it who I knew, but I was like, maybe not. I still haven't been convinced. And then by the time the Booktube 100 was on there, I was like, yeah, no, this has been showing up in my life way too often. I need to read this book. Another lovely title would be How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran. I loved her first book, How to Be a Woman, I believe, and that was more autobiographical, where this is a story based on, I guess, her experiences, but at the same time it's definitely fictional and definitely feminist, and definitely feminist ideas aimed at a youthful, growing, wonderful character, and I'm excited, so excited to read it. And lastly, staying with the feminist theme of me embracing the term, because a few years ago I was like, no, I'm a humanist, but really in the last few years I've just let myself to be proud I'm a feminist. It is not a dirty word unless you're a jerk who makes it one, so I can be proud of being a feminist 100%. But We Should All Be Feminist by Chimamanda Ngozi. I'm so sorry I butchered her name. This is actually a little tiny essay based on her TED Talk, and I totally didn't realize that it was the actual TED Talk essay, but I have seen the TED Talk, and this is that TED Talk put together into an essay of words so that you can have a tangible copy of her wonderful TED Talk. And so I've already read it, and it was quite lovely, quite enjoyable, and I will be happy to have this join the books on my shelf. And those are all the Book Depository bookmarks that you get when you order lots of books from them. So I totally was gonna show you my stack of books, and I did, and I filmed the end of this video and realized on the footage that it was all gone, so I'm very happy that I realized that my camera cut it off and that I can still show you the books and I don't have to pull them back off my bookshelf. So, hold on 1 second. Quite heavy, quite heavy. Can I get them all in? Can I get them all in? Oh, kind of. Hold on. You're slipping. This is the thing about new books. They're so slippery. Okay, ready? 14 books. Yay, 14 books. So, of course, if you've liked this video, please, like and comment and share and whatever. If not, whatever, that's fine. Of course, you know that I love making these videos for me and myself, as well as you, should you care to watch them. So, of course, until my next video, happy reading. Hello Internet, around here I go by Cat of Diamonds, and welcome to my Fannish Reviews. This video comes to you so file under VidCon tired. I haven't even completely unpacked yet, it's a mess everywhere, but the best way to feel better about coming back home post VidCon is having an owl crate waiting for you in the mail when you come home.